Good morning. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another edition of the Morning Breeze, man. Always rocking with you guys, as always, man. Outside of me, I got my guy, Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, in the building.
That's right. Ooh, excuse me. Oh, pardon. That was a little lungy this morning. Little lung butter this morning. Oh, yes, that was the first time I spoke loudly today.
Goodness.
Apologies. That's right.
That's right.
Breeze Nation, what's good? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Tough morning. Bears morning, not a Bears victory Monday here on the Windy City Breeze as the Chicago Bears take a embarrassing 30-16 loss to the Baltimore Ravens, dropping them to 4-3. We got to talk about this team's biggest issue offensively. Also got to take a look at where defensively this team just has to improve. We're getting to unacceptable levels with some high-paid guys here. Of course, look at the game overall and try to keep it positive. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 10/27/2025, 7:03 in the morning. And Jordan JC, it was a rough Chicago day yesterday.
Yeah.
Blackhawks lost. You know what I mean? Bears lost. You know what I mean? Yeah, we got the Bulls tonight. See red, baby. See red.
Let's go 3-0, baby. Let's do it. Oh, don't cry, my boy.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Oh, we're okay. 2-0, baby. 2-0. We're fighting back. We're fighting back. Don't hurt me. Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. As always, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do.
Come on. Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push your button.
You heard what she said.
Y'all heard what Sue Young said. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Listen, Jordan JC, of course, let's talk about the game here overall. Not Don Burr showing up after would it have been about 3 weeks for Don Burr? Man. Don Burr in the building.
Come on, man.
Shout out to you guys in the chat. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. I just love it. I love it when the Muzz show up after weeks of domination from the Chicago Bears. But listen, tough loss to the Baltimore Ravens, a loss that I think exposed a lot about the team and what I've been talking about this team with defensively over the I shouldn't even say defensively. The team as a whole over the last few weeks that you've kind of been able to hold off. But JC, you were watching the game live on the stream.
Yeah.
What was your takeaways from that game?
Discipline. And Caleb Williams seems to have regressed for the second game in a row. That was my biggest concern, is that you saw how he played in the previous game. And he, went on to say all the right things. I have to be better. I will get better. He gives off a smirk and, saying everything that gives us confidence in him doing the small things right. And what I mean by the small things is the previous week you saw him lock in on Roma Dunze and get an interception. Well, unfortunately, he did the exact same thing this week. He locked in on a player and got an interception. There were multiple times where I did not like him kind of getting out of pocket. And I think there were plays, there were also passes that he overlooked as well. Again, taking what's there, taking what the defense gives you. We know that going into this game, the Ravens, technically, statistically, are one of the worst defenses. However, they got a lot of guys back.
Got a lot of their pieces back.
And so I was saying this on the stream yesterday. I said we can't look at it from a statistical standpoint and say, oh, we should have beat this team fair and square. Their defense sucks. No, the only person that they really were missing was Matabike on their defensive line. They got all their guys back. Roquan was back. You had Hamilton. You had Malachi Starks. You had Calvin Noy. Like, you had all of these guys that are very good at their position. And so I knew going in that it wasn't going to be a cakewalk. And unfortunately, you didn't see a good game from Caleb, but also surprisingly, and maybe I shouldn't say surprisingly, you didn't see a good game from Ben Johnson. It seems as if some of the play calls didn't marry each other. It seems as if there were a lot of times that he was unsure about what to do to get down the field. And then, of course, my biggest harp is the red zone efficiency. Every time we get down the field, even when it looked good the first 2 drives, you can't punch it in. You're only coming away with 6 points versus 14. And I always say, hey, you go down the field 2 times, you score 3 points each, that's 6 points. All the team that's going against you has to do is go down the field and score once, and they're taking the lead. Like that's the point of taking advantage of your opportunities. And again, the Bears are not doing so.
No, 100%. Listen, it was a terrible game. Overall, I thought just a really poorly put together game. I thought that it was a game that, it showed one thing stood out to me, and I did a bunch of nerd analysis last night.
Oh, let's do it.
And it's the one thing that I've been talking about since day one of training camp. Y'all have heard me talk about this ad nauseum so much that people told me, we don't want to hear about it no more. Like, just stop telling, because like it's either going to hurt us or it's going to help us. We don't want to hear it no more. It hurt you yesterday. The penalties for the Chicago Bears are so important. And I get it, right? You should be able to overcome it. You should be able to figure it out. It's not how football works. One of the better offenses that's being run by a young player right now that people are going to be pointing to is probably the reason why Caleb Williams isn't developing fast enough. The New England Patriots have 17 negative penalty drives, and they've ended with 2 touchdowns. Very similar to your Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears have gotten to the red zone 4 times this season without clean operation. So overcoming the penalties, get to the red zone. Field goal, touchdown, field goal, 2 drives empty. You got nothing. You got a turnover. I think that was the Max Crosby turnover, and you went for it on 4th down. You got a turnover on downs.
Yeah.
So out of 6 drives in the red zone where you end up getting penalties, 1 turns into a touchdown. That's how important the discipline of this offense is right now. Because when you don't get penalized, you have 14 drives that have made it to the red zone. 9 of them have ended with touchdown. 3 of them have ended with field goals. We still got, right? But look at the difference in that.
That's insane. Yeah.
Look at the difference in what clean operation in football does for your team. We're sitting here talking about Caleb Williams not getting the job done in the red zone. This offense is not getting the job done in the red zone because when you get to the red zone, you don't know how to freaking stand still on the scripted plays. Colston Loveland, where you going?
He's jittery. He's ready. He's energetic, baby.
64% of your plays when you have clean operation end in touchdown versus 21 field goals. When you have penalties in the red zone or penalties on a drive, 25% 25% of your drives are ending in touchdown. That is not just a Caleb Williams problem. Caleb's a part of it. There's something with the cadence that is throwing off. There's something with the cadence that isn't there. And there's times where, like yesterday, end of the game, DJ Moore, that pass, that should have been there's the easy passes you got to make.
Mm-hmm.
There's the easy passes you got to make.
Oh, into the end zone. I thought you meant the Hail Mary.
That was, and I'm not saying it was easy, but he called it out. It was zero coverage. Been. DJ Moore back in the end zone. We're not on the same page. And that's the biggest thing for me. Like, this team as a whole offensively has been not good enough. But the one thing that I continue to say, and he said it a ton yesterday, that I want to see Caleb Williams improve at. Why are they not on the same page with you? You're the page. No matter what, you are the page. Yesterday, he was actually pretty efficient. You know where he missed that? The third down opportunities where guys had to be on the same page with you. Mm-hmm. That's unacceptable. It shouldn't be, I got, he talked about Colston Loveland on an option route. Colston, you need to go to Colston after that and say, you need to make your decision quicker. I'm waiting for Caleb Williams to take that Tom Brady type step of this is, and here's what I mean. I'm not saying as a player or anything. No. I'm just saying as a leader.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
Remember, Tom Brady used to just go grab mugs on the sideline and go, this is what you need to be doing.
Yeah.
If you're not on the same page, we'll get somebody who is. Because that's the kind of coach Ben Johnson is. I get it. We all trying to pull on the rope in the same direction, but you the heavy fat kid at the end of the rope. How far back this thing goes depends on you. You're the one that's got to call these guys out. You're the one that's got to step up. And that don't mean you sit there and just turn into a D-bag.
Yeah.
But when you talk about all of these moments, the biggest one is the penalties. I'm giving you when the Bears get penalized, your chance of scoring a touchdown goes from 6 out of 10 to 1 out of 10. Or 2.5 out of 10, I guess.
Math is math.
Yeah, a little math on that one.
You're right.
And so for me, after Colston Loveland jumps offsides, you ain't got to kill his confidence. You got to let him know this is the NFL. Bruh, that drive ends. Soon as you, now we in 3rd and 5. That don't mean ignore you effing up.
Right.
You had to lay up the Roma Dunze, hit it. You're the first pick in the draft. You have all the talent in the world. And I think this is the tough part that Bears fans are going to have to go through, that they're going to cry about the entire time. The gap from college to the NFL is massive now when it comes to developing quarterbacks.
Thank you.
The gap from, and I think Caleb Williams' draft is really one of the first drafts that's showing it in this manner, because, right, like, you would find quarterbacks that were at the top of the draft who were in pro-style offenses more often than you would. Nobody's in a pro-style offense. It's all spread. It's all.
Yep. Clap those hands. Clap it up. Yeah, exactly.
And when you are mixing developing that new system, new operation, and these aren't excuses. These are just the realities of it, with everyone trying to figure this all out at once. And dare I say, maybe that bar not being high enough yet in the building, because clearly we hear the coaches go up to the podium every week and say, hey, this is not good enough. Mm-hmm. You need to be better in these. Clearly the players aren't figuring out. That gap from college to the NFL is a lot bigger than I think people think. And the development is there. And you have what you're getting now is you have all the tools in the clay, but you got to mold it. And that's where you're at with Caleb Williams right now.
I'm glad you brought up that specific point because yesterday, I swear, you should have obviously should have known it was coming. Everybody in the chat, even at the end of the game, oh, start Tyson Bagent. Oh, Caleb's a bum. He's a bust now. He's this. He's that. I knew he wasn't our quarterback. I knew he was going to turn into just again. The maturation and the progress that a quarterback makes sometimes it takes a lot of time. We are in game 7, or we were in game 7.
Game 8, yeah.
The Ben Johnson and Caleb connection. And as you just mentioned, going from college, despite him being successful and being a Heisman Trophy winner, there are a lot of things that he has to unlearn that he resorted back to in the last 2 games that is really kind of shot him in the foot in a sense. And he understands that. And so it's this constant reminder to discipline himself to say, hey, you have to play a different version of quarterback in order to get to the heights that you want to get to. And that takes time. And even going back to your point about him, even growing into a leader where he's more vocal and keeping people accountable while also keeping himself accountable, I think that's going to grow over time because you do have the coach in that's like that. Ben Johnson is definitely going to tell you like it is. He'll probably get in your face. He'll mention the things that he needs to mention too. I think that's the next level of Caleb Williams' progress as a quarterback is that when he needs to go to his tight end, when he needs to go to his wide receiver or his running back and let him know, hey, you messed up the play. This is where you need to be. You need to give attention to your details in your assignment and hold them accountable. I think that respect level will grow. But also, again, it's just the little things in his game that he has to continue to get better at. And progress is in a sense linear. It's something that you're not going to continue to see all the time, game to game.
Yeah.
And so when we take a step back and when we lose, everybody's hair's on fire and thinking that, oh, now it's time to just rip it off to the studs. Like everything, we have to build it back up from the foundation. We just came off of a 4-game winning streak, and people are asking for Caleb's head. And I know the national media is probably going to grill him and say, see, this is exactly what we expected. But I implore Bears fans, just because you've had PTSD for the last 40 years and you're talking about, oh, this organization doesn't know how to bring in a quarterback and develop and give it time. This is the first year of Ben Johnson allowing this team to grow. And he probably has players on here that are going to get replaced. This team is going to look a lot different going, forward into the future. And so when it comes to the quarterback, you have to give it time. You have to give it patience. You may not want to, but it's a must because we can see those moments where Caleb shows flashes of greatness. And that will continue to grow, in my opinion. I think that will get consistent over time, but you have to be patient.
Yeah, and listen, the big thing for me is I think what the numbers show you is that you're expecting him to overcome things that the guys that you're comparing him to don't have to. The clean operation that the Patriots are seeing. Patriots have 53 drives this season. 53 drives this season of clean operation.
That's impressive.
The Chicago Bears.
Oh man, was it like 5?
No, it's not 5. It's not 5.
I'll say
it ain't 53.
I'll say half. 26, 27, 30. Lord have mercy.
I mean, like you're when you have more of your drives, that are penalized. And listen, there's some games where, there's some games where it's insane. So maybe that's inflating the Bears numbers, right? We watched that Commanders game and we were all in disarray of, some of the issues that were piling up there. But when you don't play clean operation football, it's going to shoot you in the foot. Just is. And I think Caleb Williams is a part of that. 100% he is. But there isn't something Caleb can do for illegal formation that we've seen called on this Bears team a couple of times. There isn't something that Caleb can do when everyone is supposed to know the snap count and DJ Moore jumps early, or when Colston Loveland jumps early, or Rome Odunze jumps early, or Cole Kmet, who seemed to repeatedly want to jump early, jumps early. Like, there are things that Caleb can't control. He can control his cadence. Maybe it's the cadence throwing it off. Maybe it is. But when you talk about clean operation football, just in the red zone, the Bears' touchdown percentage goes from 64% to 25%.
Lord have mercy.
By the way, in the red zone, on plays where they have clean operation, they only get nothing 15% of the time. You can't keep shooting yourself in the foot. As bad as yesterday was an entire game of the Chicago Bears just being like, let's see if I can do it again. Foul. Ah.
Yeah. There's a couple bullet holes in the pinky toe.
How many times could they have gotten off the field?
Yep.
How many times could they have, offensively or defensively? Could they have put themselves in a position? 11 penalties. I couldn't even go at Tory Taylor yesterday.
He gave you a really nice punt, and then you messed that up.
Tory Taylor gave you one of the best punts I've ever seen you give in his career.
Yeah.
And literally, I can't even make it up. It was illegal formation. Look at the center and see where you at. And what did Ben Johnson call it at the beginning of the season? The high school and the Hank and Harry stuff. I don't remember what it's called. I ain't never heard of it. The John and Harry stuff. The Tom and
Sally and Tom.
The Tom and Jerry stuff. That's how it feels. Just waiting for an ironing board to the neck. The Tom and Jerry stuff's a great way to say it because it's the same stuff happening over and over again. You would think eventually Tom would go, oh, bowling ball, much so.
Learn from his mistakes.
That's the thing that's going to stand out to me the most. It's what I've been talking about all season.
Yeah.
And until you fix it, and Ben Johnson said, listen, we're going to be playing our best football in December. Got a lot of time to get to December. And for what it's worth, right? I know everybody's down after yesterday. Still 100% on track with what he did with Jared Goff.
Mm-hmm.
Still 100% on track with the development. I get it. Like, people want to see the end result, but don't want to see the process. Sometimes the process is ugly.
Yeah. It reminds them too much of the past. They want to get to the perfection. They want to get to the wins constantly, and I think that, again, that's the issue. Going back to one of the egregious penalties, I just was laughing in my head as you were talking about it because who's the guy that took out Noah Sewell for a few games? I think it's Jonathan Ford.
Jonathan Ford.
This man had one of the most egregious ones because it's like you didn't see yourself across over the line where the football is hiked. I believe his whole helmet was like
he was basically on the other team.
He said, "I'm gonna find a way to get to the quarterback."
Jonathan Ford was basically on the other team.
It was insane, just a lot of the penalties, and of course, when I look back at it, and you know how I feel about the officiating. At times, I feel like they've done us wrong, and of course, I can also name some times yesterday where it was egregious, like the DeAndre Hopkins lack of calling offensive PI. That was crazy with the face mask to end the game. But I mean, here's the thing though: when you have a team that is playing the way that the Ravens are playing, the officials are not going to give you every single call, especially when you have the reputation of getting a billion penalties on yourself. And I think there was a graphic yesterday where I didn't even realize it. We're the best team at takeaways. Yep. We didn't get any takeaways yesterday.
Nope.
But we're also the worst team when it comes to, I think, yards per play allowed or something like that. So it's like, well, if we're not getting takeaways, you can see just how bad this team is on defense. And that showed up too, is, when you had moments, you talked about Derrick Henry, giving up the ball and sometimes being loose with and fumbling a lot this year. That didn't happen.
Nope.
You didn't get him to bunch the ball. Like,
Bro, you had one at the
game.
beginning where I don't know how Montez got the sack. I don't know how that ball didn't come out. I mean, he was holding on to the wrist of Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, I was like behind them, and then it just.
I was
like, how did you not get that ball out?
Hey, Tyler Huntley get a hold of you, it's over.
All right, get over here. The Mortal Kombat grab. No, it's insane. And so again, yesterday it gave a lens. It gave a really clear picture of just how much improvement. And we can use the excuses, because I sat there yesterday and said of course it could look better when you have your top 4 cornerbacks. I'm not even going to say 3, because you got Jalen, you missing Kyler,
a lot of
and
DBs.
you got Terrell Smith that's out for the season. Like, you got a lot of players that could have had a better impact, which is why I think the Ravens defense really came back to the mean when it comes to having all their players on the field and actually being better than their numbers. And so again, this is just a learning lesson. I implore Bears fans, again, it's not the end of the world, but there is a lot that you can learn from this game that we have to clean up.
100%, and I think the cleanup part of it is the biggest one, and it put it on Front Street. And the one thing I will say, outside of the penalties, because the penalties is my biggest issue with everything. It's my number one issue. Like, you will not be able to win without takeaways if you're committing to penalties. 100% you won't.
Oh, by the way, Joe Tooney,
Joe Tooney got in on the party.
He got in on action.
It's a penalty party. It's a little penalty party. We got flags everywhere, baby. My biggest thing from yesterday that I did want to see, and this is directed right at Caleb Williams. You had a bad game where your team picks you up. You had a bad game. And I think quarterbacks have bad games at times. You had a bad game versus the Saints, where the running game picked you up, the defense picked you up, and they put you in a position to win the game comfortably. You was able to go victory formation comfortably. You need to give back to your team yesterday, because your team had a bad game and the opportunities were there for you to pick them up. The Colston Loveland penalty is one penalty. You got down to the red zone again. You didn't finish. You end up kicking a field goal there. The situation, end of game, where big play to DJ Moore, you're moving. And I think, I'll give the props to him too, right? He's not quitting. He's not head down on the sideline. He's going back out there. He's confident. That throw to DJ Moore, big play. And we'll talk about it as well. I wasn't a fan of the Ben Johnson play calling yesterday. To me, it felt incredibly disjointed. It felt like the worst game that he's called all season, and there's a 52-point loss in here.
I agree.
It felt like the worst game, and that's going to happen with play callers, right? It felt like nothing was connected. Felt like you didn't go to the run game nearly enough.
You went away from it. Yeah.
You went away from it almost consistently. Like I thought after establishing it the last couple of weeks, and with Metabike not out there, that you would probably go to that a little bit more. But like, you have to have those games where you're able to pick up your team. That's what being that quarterback, the number one guy, the best quarterback, and that's what that is. And that's what I was hoping to see yesterday. And I know there's a lot to overcome yesterday, but opportunities were there. Third down, layups. And in the presser, all we heard was, we not on the same page, we not on the same page, we not on the same page. It doesn't excuse some of the misses that Caleb is having. The penalty conversation. It doesn't excuse some of the misses. It does explain some of the reasoning why these drives are not finishing in touchdowns, but it doesn't excuse some of the misses. Some of these are unacceptable.
Yeah.
Some of the passes that you do complete are great plays by your receivers. How many passes have we seen this year that it's like the receivers are reaching up to the heavens to go get? Like yesterday was a day where I had hoped that we would see him step in there. And look, I think that Ravens defense is better than most people are going to give it credit for. I honestly think the Ravens are about to go on a run. You got Roquan back. You got Marlon Humphreys back on that defense. Like you added pieces back in that are problems. I mean, the biggest player probably the entire day for that defense was, of course, Van Noy, but also why am I black? Kyle Hamilton.
Hamilton, yeah, safety.
Kyle
He's
Hamilton.
all over the place.
How you can use him in a multitude of ways. I mean, he was the biggest disruptor yesterday. You got two monsters back.
Yeah.
But that didn't mean the opportunities weren't there. That was a game for you to take those opportunities, and Caleb missed.
I'd be remiss. I actually remember this, and this is a shout out to super producer Joe Holt yesterday, man. He mentioned a point that I think really we missed out on. Those first two drives, you give up only, or they only give up the two field goals. This could have been a different game from a schematic standpoint for the Ravens. Had we gone up 14, you're talking about making Huntley have to pass more than instead of them having or being okay with going to the ground and using Derrick Henry more and more because you're still only down 6. There's an opportunity right there where you kind of putting them back on the heels and they can't utilize their best player for the most part. I'm not saying that they were just going to eliminate Derrick Henry from the game plan, but if you're down 2 scores, more than likely you're going to have to resort to passing to try and hurry up and get back in the game instead of methodically going down the field running the ball. And so that's another opportunity that was missed where, you get a healthy lead and now you're having them kind of have to, pass around. And maybe that's where you take advantage of Huntley and making the corners press a little bit. I saw a lot of loose coverage as well. That was another problem that I don't know what Dennis Allen was calling. I feel like Dennis Allen had his worst week after his best week, of getting the game ball, in my opinion. And so there's another thing that, again, you're not taking advantage of opportunities.
Listen, we'll talk about the defense here coming up in a second. Shout out to Maurice Drake. He said Caleb's first meaningful year, so I expect some games like this. I remember him saying Eberflus didn't go over film, so I think he will bounce back. And no shade, but he's way better than Fields. LOL. Listen, I think that the conversation, that conversation is well past. I mean, what we're seeing from. Good win yesterday from Justin.
I actually love the fact that he won after his Woody put him under the bus.
Yeah, that was insane. That's been a bad situation though. Like I hope it bounces back, but that's been a bad situation all around. But maybe the Jets go on a run from here on out. I don't know. I do want to talk about this defense. I think this defense is an issue right now. And you mentioned, why Dennis Allen was playing a little bit softer coverage there. I want to talk about that coming up next. But first, we do got to listen into a word from our sponsors over at Aura. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching the show. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Aura. Have you ever done a Google search on your own name? You'd be surprised what pops up. Your full name, email address, home address, health records, your relatives. It's all out there. And that's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests just for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it protects me from hackers who could use that information to help them access my social media, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. It's really simple to set up. I don't have to download several apps or go to things like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft, but you can get all of that in one place with Aura. I get everything at one affordable price as well. You may already have one or two of these tools, but not having Aura is like leaving the front door locked while leaving the back door and windows wide
open. For you to be able to take advantage of Aura, we got a special deal for you here today. Stop data brokers from exposing your personal information. Go to my sponsor at https:/aura.com/the Windy City. Again, that is aura.com/the Windy City to get a 14-day free trial and see how much of your information is being sold. Breeze Nation, what is good? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Ladies and gentlemen, we got merch. That's right. New website, new merch, all out. We've been telling you guys to pull up on us. Now you can at twcbreeze.com, where you can find out all of the latest stuff going on. What all can they find there, Super Producer?
Listen, you can join the nation, sign up to our mailing list, and be up to date for events and news. You can also visit the shop page and order merch, because we have t-shirts, we got hoodies, we got mugs, we got hats, we got all kind of stuff. So, hey, we appreciate you being tuned in with us. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube page and follow us on all our socials. Check us out at twcbreeze.com.
He's way too excited.
I am.
Oh, that song just in time for a little Halloween. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Terrifying
Transylvania.
out here. I'm scared. By the way, George JC, we are over 100 at you. Over 200 at you. 200.
Yeah, I think everybody needs a little Macarena in their life after this.
No, I don't like it. I don't like it. It feels like you're forcing us to do it.
Macarena, baby.
Feels like it's against our will. Hit that like button if you have not done so. Subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. 227 in the building. 47 likes on the video. Let's get this thing up over 100 likes. All right, JC. Of course, we've spent a ton of time talking about the offense. Really wanted to see this offense pick you up yesterday, and it just didn't. But now, got to turn to this defense.
Oh, baby.
Because for as bad as the cornerback situation was,
Yeah.
we were excited because we got our full starting defensive line back when it felt like they were playing better. 3 is the number of the day if I'm in that defensive meeting room today. That is the total number of pressures that you got on Snoop Huntley. Not Lamar Jackson. 3. Oh, Lamar Jackson. Whoa, you got 3 pressures? Oh, you guys were playing pretty good football right there. Getting after him. 3. Total pressures on Tyler Snoop Huntley.
Uncle Tyler Huntley. Yeah, okay.
I don't care if you had Tyreek, Jalen, Kyler, Terrell Smith, Deion Sanders, Revis Island,
Champ Bailey.
Champ Bailey. Throw him in there. You know what I mean? It'd be a Richard Sherman, if you will. You know what I mean? Like Peanut Tillman. I got to throw one of our greats in there.
I love the Peanut Tillman yesterday.
I don't care if you have gods back there. How he was allowed to stand in the pocket, smoke a cig, make a Sammy, enjoy a little soup, probably tomato bisque.
Ooh.
Call the kids. Check on the wife.
Daddy's okay. He's
Walk
up. He's
the dog.
right up.
Take a piss.
He said, "Call the kids." Yeah, your father's okay. I'm well protected right now.
And then launch the football down the field to somebody who everyone now is looking at the DBs going, how's he open? He basically just ran in circles for 40 minutes until the DB fell over. And I thought in the first quarter of the game, you saw a defensive line that showed the intensity. You had Grady Jarrett getting to the quarterback. You had Montez Sweat getting to the quarterback. Right? Like you showed what we wanted to see. And as the game went on, just down. The pressure was gone. I continue to say this. The DB unit banged up. There's a conversation there. That's okay. Your defensive line is your starting defensive line. These are the people Ryan Poles looked at on his depth chart and said, yep, let's pay Dio Adangbo $16 million. Let's make Montez Sweat one of the highest paid defensive ends in the game. Let's go add 32-year-old Grady Jarrett to this team and see him get after the quarterback. Yeah. Javon Dexter, second round pick, that's going to hit one day.
One day.
And that's coming off of 2 weeks of them playing well. But my God, we want to talk about consistency. Can we get some consistency on one of the, by the way, this is one of the highest paid defensive lines in football.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you invested money in it. Yeah.
You got to get after the quarterback in a better way than that.
You got to get after the quarterback. And again, that's the running theme is the inconsistency, as you mentioned. Montez Sweat, we praised him for the last couple of weeks, and even this past game, I believe he had another sack. So it's showing up in spurts, and that's the issue. Is it's not a constant baseline of getting pressure or getting to the quarterback where they're having to kind of run their mental clock a little bit quicker. Huntley was, like you say, he was back there. He had a vacation. He had his family back there with him and around the campfire. And so my thing is, yes, you're
singing songs. You get a line, I get a pole, honey. You get a line, I get a pole, babe. Oh, hold on, give me a second.
All right, back to what we were doing. Yeah, that was so frustrating. That was so frustrating for me because I'm like, okay, on one end, he's in a clean pocket, but then on the other end, why in the world are so many of these receivers open? Zay Flowers is like constantly just open. I'm like, he's one of the few weapons you have to worry about. DeAndre Hopkins wasn't even considered until like when it mattered the most. Zay Flowers is somebody that was wide open numerous times, and then he's doing your Selly celebration every time he's getting the first down. It's like. There was no pride. I feel like there obviously no pride, no pressure. That's what I'm going to say. And that's where the improvement needs to happen. You paid a lot of money for these guys to do their job. And I don't know if it's the scheme that Dennis Allen is running, which is why, again, I go back to, are they being coached to just contain, or are they actually being coached to say, hey, pin your ears back and get to the quarterback as much as possible? Because I didn't see a lot of blitzes. When I wanted to see blitzes, I didn't see a lot of blitzes. It was constantly just Ford trying to get to the quarterback, and they were being held up. Like that's unacceptable when you're playing the backup quarterback. I'm not saying that Huntley is just an afterthought. I feel like Huntley is a quality quarterback, but you didn't put any pressure on him.
He's good enough to be the backup.
He's good enough. He's good enough
to be the backup.
Ravens system for a while now. He knows what he's doing.
Yes.
He's not Lamar Jackson, but I mean, I'm not going to sit here and overlook a Huntley when he beat you the last time you played. And so that's my thing is like, where is this going to like come together? Now you got guys hurt on the line too. I believe Shamar went out and had to be carted off with a knee injury.
Yep.
Domrop went down early. And so now you might be depleted a little bit there with the depth. So here's my question. Are you going to use some of your players and give them a shot? Hey, Austin Booker has been a healthy scratch for a while now. Dennis Allen, I know he's not your prototypical guy.
Hey, bro,
but can you at least give him a shot to get out there and cause some havoc?
Fam, y'all, just let it go, bro.
No, but here's my thing, though. If I'm a coach and I'm saying, you know what, this is not going to work. We paid this guy to do something he's not doing. Dio Dangbo is just out there. At least put 94 out there to see what he has.
He ain't going out there, bro. I keep saying that, bro. I've been telling you that. But look at me like I'm crazy. Pat, you hate him. I love Austin Booker. I want to see him on the field.
But that's just, in my opinion, that's stupidity. If you're not going to see progress from your starting four, then try and get somebody out there that has the desire to show you I deserve to be out there. I'm sure Austin Booker is chomping at the bit to say, "Oh, you think I'm not your prototypical guy? Let me get out there and get to the quarterback."
Here's what I'll say that is tough. And listen, you may have to at this point, right? It may truly be like now, no matter what the numbers game is, you got so many guys banged up, you may actually have no other choice but to get them out there. Yeah. Austin Booker can't get activated for special team. Y'all know I want him to hit. I wanted us to draft him in the 4th round. I didn't want the punt who actually punted his butt off yesterday. Austin Booker can't get activated for special teams. Which, by the way, is god awful after yesterday. Special teams don't get a pass either. Y'all sucked too.
Yeah. Keep Mitchell Killjoe and whoever else was back there.
I know he's a preseason fan favorite. You know what he is? He's a defensive Daniel Braverman. Shout out. Who Bears remember that deep cut?
Wide receiver, yeah.
He's a defensive Daniel Braverman. He's that guy that I unfortunately, because listen, the one thing I think Dennis Allen is a phenomenal defensive coordinator. I think he had a bad day yesterday, but I think he's a phenomenal defensive coordinator. I know he knows defensive talent. I've seen him draft a lot of really good players and understand, what works in the system, what doesn't. Mm-hmm. I kind of get the feeling like we're going to see him go out there and everybody's, golden carriage is going to pumpkin right before our eyes. Yeah, man, it's just we done with the Booker talk? Oh, no. And it, by the way, doesn't mean he will be a bad football player. Might mean the system here doesn't fit him. He may end up going somewhere else where he's a 3-4 kind of guy and he fits that system more and he's able to play. I actually think he probably will, but I don't know how that's going to work. Papa do that with the question. What's up with all these injuries? LOL, these new kids made out of glass and super glue.
That's true too.
Only thing I would say to that is, again, something I've been saying all season. I was saying it in camp. J-Mac told us, when you've got coaches that are asking you to do different things, when you've got coaches that are asking you to play at a different level, you remember, a lot of people probably don't, but you remember that first training camp after Dick Duran was fired, and Lovie Smith came in, and Olin had a hammy, Urlacher had an ankle and a hammy. I think Briggs was there. Briggs had a back. The whole back, just everything back. Peanut had a hammy. J-Mac had a hammy. Thomas Jones had a hammy. There was a ton of, I think Thomas Jones had a groin. There's a ton of soft tissue injuries. There's a ton of soft tissue injuries. So it could simply be, a shout out to the super chat for King Booker World. It said Bears Kryptonite Snoop. I know, yeah. Snoop Huntley 2-0. Two of Snoop's wins versus you. Yeah. But I think that because the level is higher, you're kind of going through the thinning of the herd right now. If I guess that's the right way to say it, right? You're seeing a lot of those injuries pile up, but it's because you're seeing a lot of these guys that, hey, you got to work on your body in a different way for you to sustain in what we're asking you to do. And this is the first year of that. So hopefully, very similar to what we saw with the Bears in that first season, or in that second season. They go from being a team that is like, oh my God, my groin, to oh my God, your groin. But yeah, defensively, need to see more from this team.
Absolutely.
Especially on the lineup. I can't expect too much from the DBs. It's like Nashawn Wright, we didn't know if he was going to make the team when he got here. Not only did he make the team, now he's cornerback 3 on the team, but it's because Terrell Smith gone, Jalen gone, Tyreek gone, Kyler gone. I can't sit here and go, oh, the DB's got to play better. You know who needs to play better? My $100 million defensive line.
Yeah, it starts with them. You're absolutely right.
Let's finish it out with this. Jordan JC. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. The show love as always. Hit the like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do on some positive stuff in the city. As Blackhawks playing some pretty good hockey. Yesterday was a tough loss. Tough loss to the Kings. Had your opportunities. That's tough losses are going to come in there, but I'm still optimistic.
I got team. Yeah,
I got a little hard hockey going on over here. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's right. You can see the puck. But is that high sticking, or are you just happy to see me? But yeah, I know hockey. That's right. Half white, baby.
Silly.
One team that is still in the win column and undefeated in the city, taking on the Atlanta Hawks tonight, or your Chicago Bulls. Jordan JC, let's finish it out with this. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to the show. Love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. What have you seen out of the Bulls early on in this season that you feel has them 2-0 right now? And how do they keep this up tonight? Possibly going 3-0 here in Chicago tonight at 7 p.m.
I believe what's working for the Bulls is their depth and the sharing of the ball. You have a legitimate point guard in Josh Giddey that is going to continuously, get down the court and find guys open, and guys are making their shots. And again, the ball is just finding people in the right places. Vucevic, again, I'm impressed. He's averaging, I believe, 21 and 11 right now.
Yeah.
He's your big guy. He's your double-double guy. I was actually more impressed with the previous game because you had Modest only scored 3 points and get 3 rebounds.
Modest had a bad game last game.
I didn't even see the game. I looked at the box score and I was like, oh, no, he's hurt. No, he wasn't hurt. He just had a foul trouble game.
Yeah, Modest was horrible.
Everybody else picked up the pieces in a sense. I thought, okay, well, the sky is falling now with Modest. No, everybody else did their job. I love, again, the acquisition of Trey Jones. Trey Jones is, to me, is in a sense a godsend as a backup point guard and someone who just does the right things and gives you the pluses and the plus minus. When he's on the court, he affects the game in a positive way. Your Ayo DeSumos, I mentioned Vooch, even Patrick Williams in his role is doing his part. He's making his shots. They're one of the better teams at scoring. I believe they're averaging 112.5, and you're going up against an Atlanta team that is kind of struggling on defense. That's something that they're not really good at right now. They're only averaging 109.7 points per game. They just came off of a loss from the champions in the Thunder, and so you have to take advantage of their mistakes as well. I believe you can beat this team handedly. They've always been a team that I feel like has never really had your number. Atlanta seems to always be their team that's kind of
Atlanta's been actually one of the more competitive teams the Bulls have had to play.
I don't know.
We've faced up against them in the play-in a million times. So
yeah, it seems like to me, it just seems like you always are in it with the Atlanta Hawks. They never seem to scare me. They're not a threat in my opinion, but it'll be a good game. But I think that the Bulls, if they continue to play as a team, because I think that's the theme here, is that they're young, but they're playing really good as a team, and that chemistry is building.
The one thing for me with the Hawks, that is my big takeaway from what we've seen from, or I should say, one thing for me with the Bulls that I think is their big takeaway that we've seen is defensively.
Mm-hmm.
This team has been balling. That last game versus the Orlando Magic, the Bulls held them to 98 points.
That's
98
old
points.
Score. That's an old score. That's 95.
A 110-98 game was a barn burner back in the day in the West Coast, not even the East Coast.
Shout out to Drew.
And I mean, a slobber knocker back in the day, if you will. But no, like it defensively, this Bulls team seems like it is truly woken up. I feel like, the job that they did on Paolo Banchero was something to be, admired. And Franz Wagner kind of got after you a little bit there, but when you shut the best player on the team down, it's got to be, there's going to be a lot of opportunity for you. And coming into this game, we know the matchup between Ayo and Trae Young, how that's been in the past. So to me, this is one where if you're the Chicago Bulls looking at tonight's game versus the Atlanta Hawks, like, keep the defensive intensity up, find a way to get yourself going offensively here, and take advantage of an Atlanta team that right now is still trying to figure out. And this is the advantage the Bulls are going to have. And I know we don't talk about it as much in basketball as we do in football. Josh Giddey is essentially the quarterback of this team. Second year in the same system, knows where everybody's supposed to be, playing with essentially the same team that you went on that run with last season. He's the one keeping the intensity up. Trey Jones coming in and kind of being an addition there. Remember, he was banged up second half of the season, but you're adding in his defensive ability, 5 steals in that Orlando game, forcing them to turn the basketball over a ton in that game and doing a good job. I thought the Bulls did when they turned the basketball over by not allowing a ton of points off of theirs. The Bulls turned the basketball over 18 times. Not a great game. You have 13 steals to make up for it, though, to get some of those back. You only allowed 13 points where off of their turnovers, you put up 24. You got to find a way to keep that mojo going and keep moving in the right direction with that. But I love how these Bulls are playing early. I put a tweet out because I think what's interesting is I know there's going to be people in here who's like, it's the NBA. Who cares this early on in the season? Which part of the NBA season matters, JC? That's my biggest question.
The Bulls, I feel like it's their
just in the NBA in general. Which part of the NBA season matters? Because what I always hear is at the beginning of the season, like the first 20 games, is like, it's early. Nobody's playing serious. And you get like that middle 40. Everybody's like, they just coasted at this point. Nobody takes it serious till after All-Star break. Then you get like that final 22 games, and then it's just like, the playoffs are set. Everybody's just trying to stay healthy. Nobody takes it serious.
So nobody takes nothing serious.
So nothing is serious. So nothing at any point in the NBA season is taken seriously.
If that's the case, then the Bulls should take advantage of that. No, and I think from just our team standpoint, we talked about it before when we started talking about the opening season for the Bulls. They get off to a really bad start usually, and they have to kind of try to pick up the pace. So the fact that we started out 2-0 is a really good sign that this team is building something towards, not, I won't say special already, but you know, it's consistent versus how we end the season. I believe last year was 15-2. Or
finished out the season 15-2 to finish the year.
So hey, you start the season this way and you end the season this way, you might be talking about being in the top 6 in what is a depleted and injury-riddled Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
I also meant I didn't even forget. I don't know if you mentioned it, or I don't know if I heard, but there is a couple of game time decisions. Actually, Josh Giddey is questionable for the game, and so there's something to look at. We obviously know Kobe White's still out, and then on the Atlanta side, Kristaps Porzingis, Jalen Johnson, and Zachary Risacher game time decisions. So we'll see what happens with that.
Is that racist?
I love that name. I just love saying it. You know, I'm not trying to be racist. Not trying to be racist.
It feels like we probably should.
Zachary Risacher.
What's he gonna do? Come pull out of a war with us. Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. What I'd love to see this Bulls team do is see that first 20, see you play like this. And then that middle 40, you play like this. Then that last 22, you play like this. And then you go to the playoffs, you play like this.
And you lose to the Heat.
Let's just keep it going all the way to a Bulls championship. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Number 8 coming this season. Where's C-Red Fred, baby? As always, man, it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always. Hey, listen, with all the struggles right now, you're 4-3 in the NFL. You're 4-3-2 in hockey right now. You're 2-0 in the NBA. The Cubs went to the playoffs. The White Sox got a new owner coming.
They're getting better.
Sox are getting a new owner. Play some good baseball in that season.
The Fire in the playoffs too.
The Chicago Fire in the playoffs.
Hey, come on now.
It's not as bad as it seems like.
Come on. Getting back.
We're coming back. It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Y'all stay safe with the Chicago. Bet down. One love. C-Red. Go Fire. Go. I don't know what the Fire one is. Go White Sox.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just Flames. I don't know.
Flames, really?
It's Flames.
Go Fire, go.
Hard Hawk Hockey.
Oh,
y'all stay safe with the Chicago. Peace.
Crazy. I'm watching a Bulls game to get over a Bears game.
That's how I felt watching that Blackhawks game yesterday, and we lost that one too. But they were competitive. That was a competitive game. Yeah.
There you go.
2-1 till you pulled the goalie. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They tried to put 6 on. Okay, I got you.
Papa do that. Why are all Chicago sports heart attack central? It's the beef.
Yeah.